How's it going? I'm Nick Hollins. Thrilled to be here wrapping up this run of lightning talks for today. It's been super good to get this snapshot of work that's happening around the ecosystem. Big shout out to all the speakers that we've heard from so far. I feel like I know so many of the people in this room, but I'm from UFO, which is an on-chain radio network. Also working on the Refraction SPE and now in ecosystem partnerships with Livepeer Foundation. Today, I'm going to be talking about how Livepeer can embed itself as the video and AI layer for the breakout moment of open social. So yes, the internet is being rebuilt, yes, by corporations and by governments, but also by us. An open internet movement, people, protocols, and networks building a new foundation for freedom of communication, creation, transaction, association, words like this, important things. It's happening right now in 2025 on Ethereum, on Base, across a galaxy of protocols like Farcaster, Zora, and Livepeer. And so, I'm very conscious that, with open social, there are many protocols. In this, I'm going to be talking about the selection across the kind of Base and Farcaster and Zora universe. There are other spaces too, but this is something that we've been exploring. So 2 weeks ago at Basecamp in Vermont, more than 500 builders gathered from all around the world. Developers and founders and artists and investors and traders and all kinds of people, all directionally aligned and all building this new critically important open internet. And many of us had been together just a few months before, also in Brooklyn, and we'll meet again in Dev Connect in Argentina in November. Of course, people here, it's a movement, it's a global thing. We meet up, we move around. So on the first day of Basecamp, Jesse Pollock from Base opened the event, live streaming from stage, and revealed that Base app has 1 million people on the wait list while still in beta. The Base app is integrated with Farcaster social protocol for identity and the social graph, with mini apps, group chats built on XMTP, AI agents, all of this interoperable. And he also mentioned that now Base is exploring a network token expected sometime next year. So when you're in the room with everybody from all over the place, all of Base builders and founders and developers and so on, you can feel the gravity of an announcement like that, pretty major update for the ecosystem. And then we all had 3 days together in workshops, sharing knowledge, making connections, all this kind of stuff. The stuff that's happening on the daily online, but in a scene like we're doing this week, gathering together, so much better. But the feeling that you have in person with each other is that this movement is coordinated, it's global, the energy is real, and the opportunity here is enormous. So the open internet movement is about more than simply technology. As cheesy as it might sound, it's about freedom itself, the freedom to speak, to assemble, to broadcast culture, and that every year, big tech tightens its control on speech, revenue, on reach, the ability for something you post to get out to an audience that has signaled that they're interested in that. As friends of mine will know, and I'll go on about this, like building an open internet isn't optional. It's essential for society, for generations to come, for our kids, for anyone who believes that the internet should belong to its people. And now that the internet is a fully integrated aspect of society, we ought to have a choice. And that is what is at stake. So inside this movement and this broader context, open social is rapidly accelerating. So with Base app, 1 million users on the wait list, scaling, they're aiming to scale toward like 10 million users through next year and beyond. With Farcaster, I know many of you might have a Farcaster profile already. If not, come and talk to me over the next couple of days. I'll be happy to invite you. Farcaster is still small, like under 50,000 DAUs kind of thing, but with the Base integration intending to bring millions more. And then Zora is another example, millions of cultural assets tokenized and shared, essentially shipping with their recent updates over the last year or so in Instagram with coins built in. And from chatting with their team at Basecamp, they already want to add video live streaming in the form of, as you'll see on Pump Fun, for example. So here's the opening for Livepeer itself, the network, to embed as the decentralized video infra, powering this entire ecosystem across the kind of, Base and Farcaster and Zora and this kind of world. Because video is itself culture, it's immediacy, connection, a living record, and embedding Livepeer directly into these feeds can drive real network usage and put us where crypto's next 100 million users will be onboarded, connected, interoperable social experiences. So for myself, I've been discovering this space as a founder and builder and ecosystem contributor over the last year and a half or so. Since 2024, I've been building on Livepeer with UFO, which is a radio network for the open internet with channels around the world, all running on Livepeer. And through the Harmonic SPE, we sought to connect Livepeer more deeply with Base and Farcaster and testing how these networks can amplify each other and make video integration more simple for builders in these spaces. And in July, Base had their NU Day 1 launch event from California, which was live streamed to the UFO mini app that we built as sort of a prototype or test case with the Harmonic SPE. And so this live streaming event of theirs was broadcast directly into Farcaster and Base app and all streaming on Livepeer. And now with the Livepeer Foundation, my focus is on accelerating demand across the network through high-value integrations and builder partnerships. And making Livepeer the native video layer of open social is a key go-to-market opportunity that was identified also through the advisory board's process. So just to imagine a few potential use cases or the sorts of experiences that could be shipped for people. So a DJ in Brooklyn goes live on UFO radio, instantly visible across Base and Farcaster feeds. This experience and stream is immersed in an open social layer, so communities can build their own spaces, assemble, connect, and chat with each other. Another idea could be a virtual agent drops a token and mints on Zora with a live stream, all happening inside this shared social space. Live video mini apps with real-time AI capabilities powered by Livepeer that can run natively in wallets and chats and directly into the feed. A space where anyone can go live from their profile, much like you can today on a Twitter or YouTube or anything like that. So as you know, back in the day, MySpace had a top 8 friends. Base app could have a go live. Each stream adds demand for Livepeer network. Each creator adds reach through their social graph. Each integration strengthens our network flywheel. So this is how Livepeer can seek to become the video layer of the open internet experience. Simply put, now is the moment for action on this for every core team and startup. Building on Base and Farcaster and Zora and realms like this, video and AI belongs in their stack, and Livepeer makes that possible. As millions of users on board this year and next, Livepeer can be there, ready to power their feeds, apps, and culture. And the Livepeer Foundation's Builders Hub and partner programs and other initiatives are coming through. And ideally, we can make this year the time where video becomes native to open social. And this is how we can seek to grow the Livepeer network flywheel and anchor Livepeer at the core of this stack. So once again, the open internet is more than a stack of protocols, more than the technology itself. It is, in fact, a social movement for freedom, creativity, and collective progress. Everyone here this week is a contributor to the possibilities of this new era. The future depends on what we build now. So yeah, we feel let's make Livepeer the essential video layer of that world. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nick. Any questions before we go on to lunch? Yay. Questions? Sorry.
Great presentation. What does Livepeer need to build that hasn't been built already to do this?
Yeah, well, I'd say we've been exploring this in terms of like, how do we service say a base app, for example? Like, what is the way that we execute on that? Is it partnering them up with an existing gateway, building like a custom solution? Do they ship their own gateway, for example, and all that kind of thing? And then so much of it is like kind of dovetails with like the work that the foundation is doing in general, or recommendations coming through from the advisory board. So it's like needing to meet these sort of benchmarks for performance and stuff like that, and all the kind of SLAs and all that kind of thing. So like the way that things are generally trending is about, you know, servicing these external partners and things like that to make that happen. Yeah, to kind of like go, right now it's like live streaming can happen into a mini app that exists in Farcaster and Base app already, but bringing it directly into the feed is kind of like an additional step.
Is Eli working on that?
Over in, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, talk to Eli for sure. Across like in Blue Sky and app protocol. That's what I was saying, like, this is all very like, let's consider Base and Farcaster and Zora and so on. But simultaneously with Streamplace, they're, you know, looking at app protocol and Blue Sky.
Great presentation, Nick. It seems like there's a really big opportunity to, you know, for Livepeer to be capturing this opportunity that's kind of emerging, especially, you know, as you're spending time with Base and Farcaster and that community in Zora. Can you help us understand a little bit more of what that opportunity looks like? Like, if we become the video layer or the live video layer for that ecosystem, what comes with that?
Yeah, I think it's about, like, it's driving demand on the network itself, just driving usage and minutes and all that kind of thing. So essentially it's network activity, which ideally with the flywheel going, it's like it therefore becomes more attractive for, you know, additional players to come in on the other side of the coin, whether that's more orchestrators or more, you know, contributors in the Livepeer network on that side. But also separately, as far as like what Daydream is doing and everything like that, like seems, I think we've spoken about this, of like could potentially be a really neat match with the Zora, for example, and can like Daydream tools and creator flow therefore be synced up to, say, be minted on Zora and all this, you know, kind of loop it all together, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll quickly add as well, it's just kind of, as we're looking at various like go-to-market opportunities and stuff like that, it's like this is kind of a train that's leaving the station, you know, like Base, there's this moment now where Base has 1 million users on the wait list, they're aiming to kind of scale, and, you know, they're with the capital of Coinbase, for example, it's like they've put a pretty large bet on open social, and by doing it via integrating Farcaster. So it's like, this looks like if we can like close on this and integrate in there, it can be a win that's sitting there for us, aside from the kind of, you know, the marketing win of it. As something big like Base app is happening, that's sort of interfacing with more like consumer crypto or like new arrivals to crypto, it'd be nice if Livepeer was plugged in as the video layer of that happening.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a similar question, but I was wondering, as you spend time with them, are they actually interested in bringing like live streaming at scale into the platforms and having like Twitch-like services, or are they more focused on maybe like the creative content creation that some of the, you know, video AI and world model stuff can enable, so that people are minting and generating assets that get financialized and shared? So, you know, where can we best enable something that makes them successful?
Yeah, I think it's a little of both of those things. And like, for instance, like chatting with the Base app team and engineers, it's that, you know, they want to be able to do live streaming, like you can go live on Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that. It's already sitting there if like they want to action that and add that feature. I think they probably have 50 other things that they also need to sort on their app. So there might be like a slight delay on when they actually action the live streaming piece of it. But they're like, yeah, 100%, we plan to do that. Like it's something that we discovered, like you go live on Riverside, you can simulcast to Twitter and YouTube at the same time, and we're able to make it that you could stream into a mini app at the same time, but you can't go directly into the feed, and there's that extra step. And then there's also the question of, well, there's a few things that spiral out, but it's like, if Base App wants to action this, do they want it to be like Twitter, where there's also a little creator studio kind of space? Like, one thing is stream on Riverside and it will show up in their feed. Another is user on the app can like create a thing like a Clubhouse, you know, kind of hosting a stream on Twitter, and you can add users in and bring them up and off the stage and stuff like that. So yeah, they're specifically interested in it and intending to do it. And also from connecting with the Zora team, we know they want to add live streaming like Pump Fun has as well. So they want to bring that in, yeah.
More questions?
Very related, Nick. So for the primitives, what are these platforms looking for? For example, is that transcoding? Is that CDN? Is that provenance? Is that like AI generation? What's most important for these platforms to succeed in building this open VO network where Livepeer can help? It's similar to the other questions.
Yeah, super good question. So like, I think on the transcoding and kind of like the basic requirements of making that happen, but on the other side, it's things like provenance and things like that also seem super significant thing to build into the stack, but that's maybe a couple beats later. Like, we want to, you know, you'll kind of want to step into it, but starting with the basics of, yeah, transcoding, delivery, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but then on the other side, on the kind of, you know, creator tools and all that kind of thing, I think there's a huge space for that, and maybe that lives over in a Zora world, for example, or we make it a smoother thing of like create something on Daydream and I can like cast it in a really smooth flow straight to Base App where it's coined, or all, you know, all that kind of stuff. Ideally, it can flow together.
Thank you.
Cool. Last question. Yeah.
So Streamplace's stated mission is to be the video layer for all of open social, starting with app protocol, but eventually expanding to Farcaster, Nostr, what have you. You mentioned you're interested in, at some point, introducing provenance. Eli's obviously working on that. My question is, have you guys spoken about collaborating? You're currently working separately. I feel like there's a good opportunity to collaborate and maybe present the opportunity more as, yeah, the video layer for all of open social as opposed to the video layer for app protocol or the video layer for Farcaster.
Yeah, no, super into that. I would say like we're all in conversation, we're all talking, kind of like exploring this and like how do we want to address this opportunity that we see here with Base App and Farcaster, for example. Like, how do we seek to pursue these opportunities together and collaborate and all that kind of stuff and be pulling in the same direction? So a broad yes, I think, yeah.
For sure. From my perspective, I think my question is about the same as Rick's, which is like, what is the, you know, a lot of our work right now has been, as we're starting to get users, okay, we've invented these segments, we've got the provenance on the segments. Well, the first thing people want is chat. So what does the primitive for chat look like? Mm-hmm. All of these sorts of things, and trying to build that in a compelling way. There's a lot of, especially like mini apps and that sort of thing, that are a little bit on the, well, you log in with Ethereum and then all the data is just stored on somebody's server or something along those lines. As we're starting to map out what that looks like, I'm very interested in what it would take to get, you know, not just like a login with Ethereum wallet and do a live stream, but what does it actually mean to like include all of these different primitives inside something like Farcaster or Base?
I'm sure if that's like statement more than a question. I don't know if that can stand as a kind of statement. Yeah, I'm with that. But I think super helpful comment on it, yeah.
I've been told this is the last comment, so. Yeah, I think just responding directly to both points there, this is part of the new pipeline that we're looking to have, where we get gateways to actively architect solutions, and the foundation will be about bringing new clients into the ecosystem, and then working with a team that ultimately is architecting and engineering solutions alongside gateways. So this is the new mentality that we want, and Eli obviously working very closely with Streamplace over the coming months is the aim.